Hello, I'm Charlotte Wood. I am here on the Monero in the freezing cold, saying hi to you and hoping that you like my new novel. I really hope that I get to meet some of you on my tour. The story is about a woman who abandons her life in the city, leaves her marriage and her job and just sort of disappears from her life really, and finds herself holed up in this monastery run by a closed order of nuns out on the Monero Plains. She doesn't believe in God. She doesn't know what prayer is. She doesn't really know why she's there, except that it feels like a sort of a home to her. And while she's there, 3 visitations come to the place in the form of, first, a mouse plague. The second one is the return of some bones of a sister who lived there at one point and went overseas and was murdered. But her bones have finally been found and they're being returned back to the place to be buried. And the third visitation is from someone from the narrator's past who she knew when she was young, and she has very troubled memories about. So those things all come together, and there's a kind of, I guess, a reckoning with various elements of the narrator's past. And in that time she asks a whole bunch of questions of herself about what it means to be a good person, what forgiveness is, and who gets to forgive, and who gets to say they don't forgive. So we are here on the Monero, which is where I grew up, and it's important to me. It's also freezing cold, as you can see. It's a really very beautiful landscape and very harsh and kind of elemental. The book is set here because I grew up here and I wanted to write some stuff about my mother, and a kind of, the book is a kind of revisiting of old ground, I guess, and the themes of the book are about returning to old ground. So when I thought about that, I thought about coming back here, and it's so beautiful. Even when it's freezing, it's a beautiful place. Writing this book was different from my other books in lots of ways. It was slow. It was started sort of before COVID and then during lockdowns and stuff. So it was infused with a very slow, deep kind of energy, I think, and a kind of digging into my subconscious. I felt like I started the book about 10 times, and then it sort of, I kept thinking, I haven't even started, and then it sort of came together in a bit of a rush at the end. So it was a weird, very different process from writing my other books, and also I guess it's kind of a lot more personal in some ways, even though most of the story is utterly invented. But I think being here, the fact that the book is set here in this place made it feel very personal to me. It's hard to say what inspired the book. It was a very slow process of sort of digging into old ground and old memories and imaginings, I guess. The epigraph by Elizabeth Hardwick talks about transformed and distorted memory. And that's what I have gone back to kind of form a story that's mostly invented, but then with little glimpses of things that I either remember or have imagined from my childhood mainly. Is the loss of hope a moral failing? And once you lose hope, can you get it back? The main character in the book is thinking about her own losses, particularly of her parents when she was quite young, and especially of her mother, and realising that the grief that she's been carrying for a long time is not over, and she has always sort of thought, I should be over this by now. You know, I think a lot of us feel like that about a death after a long time has passed, that, well, it's time to not be grieving anymore. But I feel myself that as I get older, in a way, it changes texture, the nature of it changes, but it really doesn't go away. And so I guess that sense of unearthing and reburying old hurts is all the way through the book.